Social constraint. The idea of the social constraint is inseparable from the idea of the social fact. Both ideas were coined by Emil Durkheim, and you can't really understand one without understanding the other. There is another video about social fact, and I would encourage you to watch that video with this one for a more complete understanding. Durkheim argued that a social constraint is a distinguishing characteristic of social facts. All social facts can be said to exert social constraint on members of a group or society. Social constraints are the conditioned and conditioning influences on people's behavior. One way of saying this, maybe more simply, is that social constraints are the means by which people experience social facts. An example, I hope, will make this a little bit clearer. If you watch the social fact video, or if you go watch it right now, you'll know that I compare social facts to the walls in a room. A person within the room has freedom to act how they want within the limitations established by the room. This room has one door, so if a person wants to leave that room, they have to use the door. Now they can try to go through a wall, but when they get up to the wall and start pushing against it, they're going to feel some constraint, some limitation on their ability to move in a forward direction. This experience of touching or bumping into the wall is analogous to the idea of the social constraint. Social constraint is that point at which we experience, where we feel, the influence of the social fact. Another example uses one particular kind of social fact, a social norm, which is really just a rule for behavior. In the society that I'm a part of, an example of a social norm is that people are expected to wear clothing when they are in public. If a person in my culture goes outside without any clothes on, they're going to experience certain things. A prominent emotion is likely to be fear. They're going to be afraid that someone might see them. If they see someone they know, they might feel embarrassed. They'll have this very strong feeling of embarrassment or shame, especially if they spell things wrong. Another possible social constraint is that they may be arrested. Someone might call the police, and the person will be arrested for indecent exposure. Some people like running around with other clothing on and like having other people look at them. They might feel excitement or an adrenaline rush from this deviant behavior, from violation of the social fact. In whatever way the person experiences the social constraint, the point is, when they go against a social fact, when they go against an established norm or rule, they have a particular kind of experience that highlights that social fact. Some of the constraints may come as external forces on a person, such as arrest, which is an important way that society manages behavior. But a more interesting one, I think, is the internal constraints that we place on ourselves, that we are taught to place on ourselves from the time that we're little. This brings us back to the idea of the conditioned or conditioning aspect of social constraints and social facts. A social fact can be thought of as an abstract idea, while the social constraint can be thought of the real way that we experience the social fact. There are different theories about how this works, but the thing that you need to remember here is that social constraint is the source of power or the influence of social facts that shape behavior within a society. Thank you for watching.